Olive was standing in the middle of a huge cornfield and had a piece of straw in her beak.
Okay.
Said Olive, spitting it out.
Hey, I must be in the country.
Oh,
Said a voice. Olive turned around to see a man made completely out of straw.
hello there. I'm Scully the Scarecrow.
Hello, I'm Olive. What are you doing all alone in the middle of this cornfield?
I'm here to scare off all the birds so they don't eat the corn.
Said Scully sadly.
Why are you so sad about it? Looks to me like you're doing an excellent job.
Problem is, I love to spot birds and write them down in my notebook here. But because I'm a scarecrow, I scare them all away so I never spot any.
But I'm a bird. I'm an ostrich. And I don't think you're scary, Scully.
Oh, so you are. Well, I've not spotted an ostrich before. I'd love to spot some other birds too. If I could spot 10 more today, I'd be such a happy scarecrow.
The birds are scared off when they see you, Scully. So we need to hide you from the birds in some way.
Olive looked around her. There were lots of pieces of corn lying on the ground.
Lots of corn, a scarecrow to hide. I think I may have an idea.
Olive gathered up all the corn and started sticking it all over Scully and also all over her own feathers until they were both completely covered in corn.
How's this going to help me spot birds?
Scully asked.
Watch and see.
Olive and Scully walked across the cornfield until they reached a large oak tree. A little blue bird flew down and landed on one of the branches.
Oh, our blue tit.
Exclaimed Scully, writing it down in his notebook.
One bird spotted.
Said Olive.
You see, it's working. The blue tit wasn't scared of you.
This is great.
Olive and Scully walked past a hedge at the side of the field. Two birds flew down and landed on the hedge.
That's a robin and that's a blackbird.
Said Scully, writing them down too.
2 and 3 birds spotted.
As they walked down the path, they reached a farmer's tractor sitting in the field. 3 birds flew down and landed on the tractor.
Chaffinch, sparrow, pigeon.
Cried Scully as he wrote.
4, 5, 6 birds spotted.
Then they walked down past the barn, and as they did, 4 more birds landed on the barn's roof right above them.
Crow, jackdaw, dove, magpie.
Said Scully, scribbling in his notebook.
7, 8, 9, 10 birds spotted.
Cried Olive.
Oh, thanks, Olive. With this corn disguise, I've managed to spot 10 birds today.
Olive and Scully walked back into the middle of the cornfield. But something very odd was happening. All the birds Scully had spotted were flying around above them. Then they all landed on Olive and Scully and began to eat the corn.
No, they're eating our disguises.
Soon the hungry birds had eaten away all the corn.
I suppose you're going to get scared and fly away now.
But the birds didn't move.
We're not scared of you anymore. You've given us all this nice corn to eat, so we know you're friendly.
Chirped the little robin.
Oh, now I can spot birds all day, every day.
Maybe you should call yourself Scully, the not scary crow.
Chuckled Olive. They both laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Bird? Actually, I've been helping a scarecrow spot birds.
Your head's been in the sand too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure.
Olive the Ostrich!
Olive found herself on board a bus with some other passengers. But the bus didn't seem to be moving.
Hello, I'm Olive. Where's this bus going today?
I'm Jeff, and this bus is going nowhere until I find me glasses. I can't drive the bus without them. I must have left them at the last stop when I got out for a cup of tea.
Well, why don't I drive the bus back to the last stop so you can look for them?
Oh, you can't drive a bus without a driving licence.
Actually, I have one of those.
Oh, OK. Hop in the driver's seat, Olive. I'll give you directions.
They set off, but it wasn't long before they hit a problem.
Excuse me, I wanted to get off at the corner shop bus stop to buy some milk, but we've gone past it.
Don't worry. We'll go back. Olive, it's down there and left a bit.
Unfortunately, without his glasses, Jeff couldn't see properly, and so his directions took the bus into the middle of a field, not the corner shop.
Oh, dear. I see now. This way, please, Olive.
Excuse me, I wanted to get off at the Arts Gallery stop to go and buy a painting of a beautiful landscape, but we seem to have missed it.
Sorry. We can go back, can't we, Jeff?
Of course we can.
So Jeff gave Olive directions to the gallery, although he didn't seem to notice that he was talking to a sheep and not to Olive. So instead of stopping at the gallery, they ended up at the beach. The passengers had a lovely paddle whilst Olive consulted a big map.
Hey, Ostrich, go! What's the deal with the bus stops? When are we going to get to the skate park?
Yes, just a minute. All aboard!
Olive set off, following Jeff's directions, and found herself in the middle of a herd of cows on top of a mountain.
Geg, this doesn't look right.
Oh, dear. Sorry, everybody. Olive, what are we going to do?
The passengers all complained loudly.
I just wanted to buy a pint of milk. It's gone right past the shop. It's no good at all.
Some frustrated passengers, a herd of cows, and a big tall mountain. I think I may have an idea.
Olive whispered into the ear of a cow who was trying to get on the bus. The cow mooed enthusiastically.
Ooh.
Why don't you take this cow home with you? Then you'll have as much milk as you like.
Great. Hi, I'm Colin.
Moo!
You know, if you took a photo from the top of this mountain, it'd be better than any painting in the gallery.
You're right. It's an amazing view.
I have an idea for you too.
Hey, cool.
The boy hopped on his skateboard and whizzed off down the mountain.
Hey!
At that moment, a farmer appeared at the door of the bus.
Hello. All my farm animals are missing. Have you seen them?
Oh, well, actually, we do seem to have a bus full of, farm animals.
Do we?
Are they yours?
Yes, they are. Florence, why are you wearing glasses?
Glasses?
They must have been on the bus all this time. Thank you, Olive. Ah, there you are. Right, shall we take everyone home? Olive, which stop would you like?
I think I'll hop off here. Any longer and I'll be driven round the bend.
They all laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Geg, actually, I was driving a bus all over the place.
Your head's been in the sand too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure.
Olive the Ostrich!
Olive was standing in a shady forest. There were tall trees everywhere. In front of her was a little teddy bear. She was sitting on a picnic rug and looking glum.
Hello there, I'm Olive.
Oh, hello. I'm Gloria Honeybear. I'm having a picnic, but I'm afraid I can't offer you anything to eat.
Oh dear, that's a shame. You do seem to have plenty of food, Gloria.
Yes, I've got jam, I've got tea, I've got milk, I've got scones, butter, cream, I've got the rug, I've got cutlery, I've got cups, I've got sugar cubes, I've even got napkins, but I don't have any honey. And you can't have a picnic with no honey, not if you're a teddy bear anyway.
I see. Well, where do you usually get your honey from?
Well, I usually get my honey from the busy bees.
Said Gloria as she pointed towards a large beehive.
But today the bees have no honey.
Oh dear.
Said Olive as she walked over to the beehive.
Excuse me, busy bees. You're not looking very busy.
The bees looked exhausted.
Phew, we're just so tired.
Buzz the bees.
Every time we get back from the flowers with pollen to make our honey, we have to do this long dance to show the other bees where to go. We're just too tired afterwards to make the honey.
So what you need is a way to show the other bees how to get to the flowers without doing the directions dance.
Oh, yes, please.
Olive spotted the bowl of sugar cubes.
Some tired bees, a bowl of sugar cubes. I think I may have an idea. Gloria, do you know the way to the nearest flowers?
Yes, of course.
Olive picked up the bowl of sugar cubes. She and Gloria headed off to the flowers, and as they walked, Olive and Gloria made arrows on the ground out of sugar cubes and did a silly little bee dance just for luck. They made arrow after arrow until they reached a huge flower bed full of beautiful flowers. They quickly hurried back to the hive.
Okay, busy bees. Just follow the sugar arrows to find your way to the flowers without doing the directions dance. And when you get back with the pollen, you can make the honey and give some to Gloria for her picnic.
Hooray! Thanks, Olive.
So the bees all buzzed off to the flowers using the sugary arrows to find their way. They collected loads and loads of pollen, flew back to the hive and got to work making honey. Gloria gave the bees her empty honey jar.
Would you busy bees mind filling this for me, please?
No problem.
And they filled Gloria's jar full of sweet-tasting honey.
We hope it tastes good.
Now you can finally enjoy your lovely picnic.
Yes, I've got jam, I've got tea, I've got milk, I've got scones, I've got butter, I've got cream, I've got the rug cutlery, I've got cups, napkins, I've got a huge jar of yummy honey. But now I don't have any sugar cubes, and you can't have a picnic without sugar cubes to put in the tea.
You're in luck then. I have 2 cubes left, one for each of our cups of tea.
Olive threw the sugar cubes into their cups. She poured in the milk and tea, while Gloria spread butter and honey and cream and jam all over the scones. They had the tastiest picnic ever, and afterwards they did the silly bee dance once more. The bees were so happy they joined in too.
Oh, thank you, Olive. You've been the busiest bee of all.
Chuckled Gloria. They all laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Actually, I've been helping busy bees make honey.
Your head's been in the sand too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure.
Olive the Ostrich!
Olive was standing in a big room, surrounded by huge skeletons.
Cake, these are very impressive.
Olive saw a little old man dusting one of the skeletons.
Hello, I'm Olive.
Oh, hello. My name's Pterodactyl. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. What is this amazing place, Terry?
Well, Olive, this is a museum, and these are dinosaur skeletons. Dinosaurs used to roam our planet millions of years ago.
Where? That's a long time.
Oh, yes, and it's my job to keep these spotless. I could really use some help tonight dusting them.
I'd love to help you, Terry.
Thanks, Olive. We have to be very careful, though. They're extremely delicate.
So Olive and Terry got to work dusting the bones. But all of a sudden, Olive spotted a shadow moving. It looked like one of the dinosaur skeletons.
Cake, the skeleton's alive!
Olive turned and ran away, but she wasn't looking where she was going.
Olive, watch out!
Cried Terry. Too late.
Yeah!
Olive ran straight into another skeleton, and all the bones collapsed. Those bones tumbled into the next skeleton, and it fell over too. Then the next, and the next, until every skeleton had tumbled into a huge pile of bones on the floor.
Oops, sorry.
Said Olive.
Olive, what have you done? The museum opens soon and everybody will want to see the dinosaurs.
Sorry, I saw a dinosaur move over there and it scared me.
Standing next to the pile of bones stood a rather sheepish-looking boy wearing a dinosaur mask.
Oh, that's my son. Pterodactyl, what have I told you about creeping up on people wearing that mask? I'm sorry, Olive. No wonder you were scared. I'm sorry, too.
Said Jerry.
That's okay, Jerry.
But how am I ever going to put all these skeletons back together? It's impossible. Would you like to see my dinosaur drawings, Olive? Look, I've done every single skeleton in the museum.
These are really good. Drawings? Piles of bones? I think I may have an idea. Jerry, we can use your pictures to help us rebuild all the skeletons. I'm sure we'll be finished before the museum opens.
Great idea, Olive. Let's do it.
So they got started.
There, Dad.
But it was like a huge puzzle. It really wasn't easy to work out where the bones were meant to go.
Put this one here.
Something's not quite right.
Said Olive.
Too late. The museum has just opened. Here comes the first tour group.
And here on your right is the Tyrannosaurus Rex, and as you can see, it had absolutely huge wings.
Oh!
And over here is the Brontosaurus with its 2 tails. That's enough of the dinosaurs. Let's move on, shall we?
Phew, I think we got away with it, Olive.
I think we've created some brand new dinosaurs, like the Tyrannosaurus Rex.
They all laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Okay, actually, I've been rebuilding dinosaur skeletons.
Your head's been in the sand too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure.
Olive the Ostrich!
Olive was in a small, dimly lit room. In front of her were lots of buttons and levers and colourful flashing lights.
Where am I?
Some lights shone out over a beautiful underwater world outside the window.
Geg, what a view!
There were hundreds and hundreds of fish swimming around in front of an enormous blue canyon.
Oh, I'm in a submarine deep in the ocean. I can't wait to explore.
Olive pushed a big red lever marked forward and the submarine dived deep down into the canyon. Olive spotted the opening to a cave.
Interesting.
Said Olive as she drove her submarine right into the cave.
It's even darker in here than it was before.
Olive drove through a big patch of seaweed.
Oh no, now I can't see where I'm going.
The seaweed suddenly came to life and picked up the submarine.
Ow!
Then in the headlights loomed the big green face of an octopus.
Hello.
Bubbled the octopus.
Geg, who are you?
My name's Jonah. I've been trapped inside this whale for days. It's so good to finally meet someone new.
My name's Olive. But what do you mean trapped inside the whale? I just drove into a cave.
Oh no, that was a huge whale's mouth you drove into, Olive. And now he's closed it shut. There's no escape.
Geg, that doesn't sound good. We need to make the whale open his mouth again. Maybe I could turn my engines all the way up and then the bubbles will make the whale cough. Then we can escape when he opens his mouth.
Olive turned the submarine's engines onto full power and the water started to bubble up.
Oh, that didn't work.
But then the bubbles Olive had made tickled Jonah on the tummy.
Oh, those bubbles tickle.
An octopus with 8 legs. Tickling? I think I may have an idea. Jonah, if you use all your legs, you can tickle the inside of the whale's stomach and make him laugh. Then we can escape through his mouth.
Oh, I think that might just work.
He stretched out his 8 long arms and began to tickle the whale's tummy.
Tickle harder! Tickle harder!
Cried Olive. Jonah tickled as fast as he could. A wall of bubbles started rushing down the tunnel towards Olive and Jonah.
Watch out!
Geg, what's happening?
I think we might be going out of the top.
The top?
Olive and Jonah were fired out of the whale's blowhole, up high in the sky. Then they started to fall back towards the water.
Wow!
Jonah clung to Olive's submarine with his 8 tentacles as they fell. His body inflated like a parachute, drifting them both gently down to the surface of the water.
Well, that was a lovely, gentle landing.
Oh, thanks so much, Olive. I'm free at last.
That's okay. I think we've all had a whale of a time.
They both laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Okay, actually, I've been helping an octopus escape a whale.
Your head's been in the sand too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure.